Hi everyone. So let's start. Today is the last lessons, which is talking about the chapter 4 and 5, the AD and AS. So according to this one, we have to talk about the example of how the other factor change will affect the economy in the short run and long run. So for this as an example, when the USA impose tariff on the import from China, so how does it affect USA economy? So as we know that the imports of USA will be lowered because there is a tariff on import. So the equity demand will increase. So AD increased from 81 to 82. So that's why the price level will increase from PL1 to PL2. And the Y will increase from Y1 to Y2. So that is the short run effects. Alright. And then how about in the long run? So because when we say that in the long run, the Y equilibrium higher than the Y potential, so that's why there is the inflationary gap. So when there's inflationary gap, there will be excess demand for resources, so the factor price will go up, the production cost will go up. So that's the short run AS will moving from the right hand side to left. So that's why we say the short run AS shift to left. And the price level will go up from PL2 to PL3. And the Y will go back to the potential GDP. So that's why in this case, in the long runs, so the price will further go up to price level 3, and the Y will go down to the potential GDP. And because we say that unemployment is negative related to the GDP, so that's why in short run, when the GDP goes up, the unemployment will go down. And for the Y will go down to the potential GDP, that means unemployment rate will go up to the natural unemployment rate. So that's the situation. All right. So then for the second part, if we say that, how about if the interest rate in the USA increase, then what will happen? So then in the short run, so then the C and I will go down. So because interest rate is a cost of borrowing, okay, will be higher. So C and I will go down, so that the AD will go down. So the price level will go down, Y will go down, GDP will go down, and the unemployment will go up. So the point will move from point A and then to point B. Alright. And after that, so there will be in long runs, and then we know that the Y equilibrium smaller than Y full or Y potential. So there will be a deflationary gaps. So what happened to deflationary gap? Excess supply of factors. So that's why the factor price will go down. Okay, so then the production cost will go down. So the short run AS will increase. When the short run AS increase, it will moving from this curve to this curve. And then the point will go down from point CB and become point C. So what you can see is the price level will further go down, and the Y will increase back to the potential GDP. So that's why you will see that. So the overall effect, that will be changing from point A to point B in short run, but in long run it will go back to point C. All right. Another example, if we say that there is financial crisis in the USA, so that's why there will be a C will go down, I will go down, AD will go down. Why the C will go down? Because people's wealth will be dropping. Because when there is financial crisis, the stock market has a crash. So that's why C will go down. And I will also go down because most of the firm's profit will be lowered. So AD will go down. So the price level will fall from PL1 to PL2. And the real GDP will fall from Y1 to Y2. Here. So we can see that this is point A, and then this is the point B for the short run situation. And when Y go down, then unemployment will go up. In the long run, what will happen? So equilibrium GDP smaller than the potential GDP, we say there is deflationary gap. Then after that, there will be excess supply of resources. So factor price go down, production costs go down, short run AS shift to the right. So that's why from point B and then point C. And then finally, so the price level will further go down, and the Y will increase back to the potential GDP. Then how about oil price change? If the question say that oil price increase, how does it affect China's economy? Short run, oil price is a very important production cost, so the short run AS will shift to the left from point A to point B. So that's why you will see that the price level go up and Y will go down. Unemployment will go up. However, if we have in long run, so the equilibrium GDP, we always compare about the equilibrium GDP and also the potential GDP. There will be deflationary gap, then excess supply of resources, factor price go down, production costs go down. So then when the production costs go down, short run AS will shift back to the original point. So the price level will go down and Y will go up, and then unemployment will keep on to the natural unemployment level. And the point A will be the same as point C as well. It is the same as the original equilibrium, long run equilibrium points. Then there is some remarks, okay? So when there's change in the long run AS, so then what will happen to the short run and long run equilibrium? For example, if we have more oil discovered, that means there will be a more number of resources. Then what will happen? So the price level, because it is long run move, so at the beginning we don't change in the price level, and then the Y potential should be still the same. And in the long runs, because we discovers, okay, so the new number of resources, so that's why we have the long run AS shift to the right first. So when the long run AS shift to right, then we will have a so actually we can just skip this part. You don't need to mention about this. So what we do is, because long run AS will shift to right because we have more number of resources, so that's why entire curve you can just say shift to the right hand side. Okay, so because the long run AS curve increases, then the short run AS will also increase. So that's why the point will be moving from this point A and then become point B. Alright, so that's the situation when they change in long run AS. Then how about in this case? Okay, so in this case it is talking about that actually for this ones we can easily adjust. You don't need to mention about all those. So when they have government spend more money on educations, meaning that the G will increase, so that AD increase. And also the quality of resources become higher. So that's why the long run AS also increase. As we know that when long run AS increase, then basically the short run AS will also increase. So how to show in a diagram? So it is pretty simple. So entire curve shift to the right. Okay, so what we can see the overall effect is the real GDP must go up, but the change in price level is uncertain. So it depends on the AD change more or the long run AS change more. Then what next? Of question number and remark 2. If there are two effect change, it is just like the demand supply. When the first effects, interest rate go down, C and I go up, AD go up, we just move AD. And the oil price go down, that means the production costs go down, and the short run AS shift to right. So that's why the Y must increase, the real GDP must increase, and the price level is uncertain. Depends on the extent of AD change and also short run AS change. Then remark 3. If the question just say that income decreases, income tax decreases, and oil is discovered, then what is the long run effect? If the question just asks you what is the long run effect, that means you don't need to show the short run AS curve. You can just draw in this way. So salary tax go down, disposable income increase, C increase, AD increase, AD curve shift to right, and more resources, long run AS increase. So you don't need to draw the supply curve because it just asks you the long run effect. So that's why the change will be from originally point A now become point B. So that's why the change in price level is uncertain. Depends on extent of AD and long run AS. But the real GDP must increase. Alright. So there are some remarks as we shared before. When there is sales tax, change the short run AS. And when there is a public tax and etc., then we'll change the AD. And also one more reminder to you is, okay, for the short run, adjust to long run by the market force. Okay, it must be moving the short run AS. Okay, so whenever the short run equilibrium, if they want to achieve back to the long run equilibrium through the free market, there may be either excess demand of resources or excess supply of resources, then the resources price will change, and then the production cost will change. So that will move the short run AS correspondingly. Thank you. So then we have also the remarks on the adjustment from short run to long run. As I share, if the question does not mention anything, then we just assume it is through the market force. Then there will be adjust in the factor price, production cost, and through the short run AS. But if the question say that it will adjust by the government policy, that means it will change the G or taxes. Then in this case, it will be moving the AD back to the long run equilibrium. For example, in this case, if we have deflationary gap, then if it is the market force, then should be short run AS shift to right. But if the question say that government policy, then will increase the AD increase to go back, okay, to the original level. Okay, so then if it is talking about inflationary gap, then it will be AD shift to the left. Okay, so that's why if the question say that adjust the short run to the long run, if it's through the government policy, they will adjust the inflationary gap and deflationary gap by moving AD. But if the question say that by the market force or nothing mentioned, then we will assume they will try to adjust back to the long run equilibrium by moving the short run AS. Alright. So, but what is the difference between the government policy and also the market force? The first thing is, if you by using the market force, they spend longer time to adjust from short run to long run, and for the government policy, it will be very fast because government say increase the G or decrease the G, then will increase, they will adjust very fast. But on the price, on the Y effect should be the same. So you see that Y increase, Y decrease. In terms of Y, it's the same. But in terms of price effects, price level, if it's through the market force, the price level will go down, and here's the price level will go up, and here the price level go up, and here the price level go down. So that's why on the effect on the price level change, it is not in the same directions, it's in the opposite direction. Alright. And also further talk about what is the meaning about trade balance. Trade balance means export minus import. Trade balance, okay? Invisible trade balance, export of services minus import of services. We call it invisible trade balance. Visible trade balance, export of goods minus import of goods. We call it visible trade balance, okay? And physical balance is the tax minus G. So one more thing, also want to remind you that when your country's real GDP increase, that means the income increase will not affect export, because export depends on other country GDP. When other country GDP higher, so they will buy more of our export, so export will increase. If our local GDP increase, it will not change the export, but we change our country's import, then our country will buy more import, and it will increase our tax. Higher income, the government can receive more tax revenue, and G will not be affected because determined by the government every year, fixed And one more thing just remind you is that the initial effects of an activities must be greater than the induced effect. So why I want to ask you this question is, sometimes in the question they will also ask you maybe C change, I change, G change, X change, and M change. How does it affect the trade balance and budget balance? For example, when the I increases, then we know that it will increase the AD, so that increase in Y. And as we say, when Y increase, it will not change our X, but it will increase our M, right? So that's why when I increase, X minus M should go down. And the budget balance, how about? When I increase, AD increase, Y increase, and the tax will be higher, but there should be no change in G. So that's why overall budget balance will go up. All right. Then how about if when G increase, just like here, if G increase, AD increase, Y increase, so that's why T will further increase, but there will be no effect on G. So T increase, no further effect on G, because as I say, Y change will not affect G. So that's why overall effect, this one go up. However, at the beginning, G also go up. Understand? So that's why G go up, T go up. Overall go up or go down. So basically should be the G effect, initial effect, dominance, the induced effect. So even though T goes up here, but the G effect is the initial effect. So the overall should be go down. Okay, so that is the logic here. All right. So, okay. So then, another example. So please look at this as an example. If the question says that, and when M increase, how does it affect trade balance and budget balance? When M increase, AD go down, Y go down, export unchanged, but M decrease. However, initial effect greater than induced effect. So M increase more than the M decrease. So overall will go down. All right. Okay. And how does it affect the physical balance? When AD decrease, Y decrease, T decrease, no change in G. So that's why overall will go down. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. And then how about here? This one we already mentioned it, so you can just read it all by yourself. And then for this one, the tax. When the tax go down, C go up, because disposable income will increase. So C go up, AD go up, Y go up. So export no change, M increase. So overall will go down. However, how about on the physical balance? So the T decrease initially, but this one Y increase, make the T increase, G constant. But this T increase more or this T decrease more? Of course must be the initial effect decrease more than the induced effect. So overall will go down, follow the T decrease. Understand? Okay? So these are all the example, so you can read through. All right? Okay? So just one thing pay attention to, as we say that dynamic, static. If the question says changing, then your answer should be the physical balance increases, decreases, increases, and decreases. You cannot say that it will be physical surplus or trade surplus, because dynamic, the answer should be dynamic. You don't know whether export is greater than M or the T is greater than G. However, if the question say that at the beginning T equal to G or X equal to M, then whenever there is increase, then overall, when there is increase in T, then overall T will be greater than G. When X equal to M, when there is increase in M, then M will be greater than X. Okay? Alright, any questions? So these are also the example similar to what we did before. I just picked two maybe to demonstrate a little bit. Okay, so for example, here's when M increases, AD will go down, Y will go down, so export will be kept unchanged, M will fall due to the Y decreases. However, the initial effect in M increase should be greater than the M decrease induced effect. So overall, the M will go up instead of go down. So that's why the trade balance will fall. All right. And then the other example you can just see is here. So when trade balance will fall. And also do the same thing for this physical balance is that when Y decreases, tax will go down. No change in G. So the overall physical balance will fall. All right. Any question about that? So these are all similar things. Okay. So please copy your notes and also do the classwork. I want you to finish all the classwork from your textbook from chapter 4 and chapter 5 because we have already finished chapter 4 and chapter 5. Thank you.